boxing as well, you and your mate Joseph Parker. People with that kind of background, what do you think it is that makes you all so good at, well, sport in general, but obviously with the boxing at the moment?
Yeah, we're just physical people, you know. We're just, if you go to Samoa, there's not many, they're not inside playing PlayStation and stuff like that. You know, all the kids are running around. There's people playing volleyball, football. Like, that's just their normal things. It's all the physical and the rhythm and stuff like that. They pick things up like that. They're good athletes, but, they live off the land. It's imprinted at us, I guess.
Those are the words of Jai Opetaia, and he's explaining the culture, okay? Samoan, Maori, okay, island culture. And let me counterpunch. I think a lot of people, besides genetically, which is something you're born with, innateness, something you're born with, I think the overall beginnings of someone like that, especially having the genetics, but, like he said, they're not inside playing PlayStation. They're outside playing football, rugby, physical things. Like he said, we're physical people, and I think that what keeps a lot of people active, the activeness is what builds and conditions you over the years before even picking up a trait or a desire or a passion for these type of things, like rugby, like boxing, like wrestling, like UFC, like football, American football. So, or soccer, football, right? So you have a lot of things that contribute to that, and that's why, like, as far as children go, it's always a sad thing to see a kid stay inside all the time, where it's sunny outside, where it's daylight, where it's time to advance, or it's time to use your muscles, your body that's meant to be used outside doing whatever while you're a child in this precarious land that you're in. You know what I mean? So, like, as far as that goes, Jai Opetaia, it's always something that they were doing. And probably a good thing is not everyone's super stupid rich. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times, like the saying goes, hard times create strong men. Strong men create easy times. Easy time creates, weak men. Weak men create hard times. Like, that's a true statement, as a cycle, because a lot of times people that had to come up, the times were harder. You know what I mean? Not saying he had a hard time, but I don't think it was just super easy, because you're not inside playing video games and shit like a lot of people do, like a lot of kids do. That's why their levels of testosterone and physicality don't really grow to its full capacity based on the fact they ain't doing a damn thing. You know what I mean? So when you're talking about Joseph Parker, when you're talking about David Tua, when you're talking about Jai Opetaia, when you're talking about countless other island people, they had something to do, or they contributed to something being active. Okay, so that's what pretty much kept them there and put them in position, physically, because if you're physically capable of doing certain things are going to be of interest to you. You know what I mean? So if you're out playing rugby or something like that, and then, you kick a ball, the ball flies over the fence, you jump over the fence, and then the fence is someone working on combo drills or somebody with boxing gloves, you're going to be like, okay, what are you doing? Hey, kid, you know what I mean? That may interest you. A seed at that point is planted. You know what I mean? But guess what? You wouldn't have got there if you wouldn't have knocked that damn rugby ball over that fence in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Following the example of circumstance. So I think overall, I believe that a lot of people, if you're stupidly strong anyway, it has to be used, because if you don't use it, you lose it. You know what I mean? Or in my case, or in the case of someone that never really knew what it's like to take their ass outside, and play with other kids and do other activities physically, they never had it in the first place because it was never produced to them in the first place. So great video by Jai Opetaia. It's just like, hey, it's more like, You know, he said the rhythm, you know, the activeness, the physicality of everything, because they do things physically throughout their daily lives to, you know, and that's what makes life worthwhile and the quality thereof. But you guys tell me what you think of Jai Opetaia speaking on his ability culturally to fight because he's physical. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch.